Victims Rights Toolkit was created because our organization is relatively small and we serve the entire state of Ohio. So we wanted a way that all of Ohio's crime victims could learn about and exercise their rights in the criminal justice process. And they can learn about their rights in two ways. The first way would be if they just want to learn about their rights, and this is completely anonymous.
I liked that it was anonymous, that I didn't have to feed information into it.
They go to what we call the research database, answer a few simple questions. They'll answer questions about their age, about the particular crime, and whether the victim has a disability, or the victim is a non-English speaker, or the victim is homeless or a veteran, because all of those things may give victims additional rights.
It made me think of things or categories that I wouldn't have thought of before. They had click boxes. So for example, I wouldn't have thought of disabled, but my dad was a disabled veteran.
Then they'll click research, and then the toolkit returns to them a list of their rights in the criminal justice process chronologically and by phase of the process, so it's not too overwhelming.
And what was great about it was that it was in language that was easy to understand.
And they can print those, they can access the toolkit on their phone, they can access that anytime, 24/7. So victims can use that portion just to learn about their rights. We also have a little bit more in-depth option, which is called Create a Case. I'll answer more in-depth questions. The first one is jurisdiction, because the toolkit serves state and federal crime victims in Ohio. So they'll select either Ohio or federal. The victim is going to enter their name and their contact information and some more particular details about their case, information about the crime, who the offender is, and what the relationship the offender and the victim have.
The more information you put in, the better the results are. And eventually I did end up creating a case with all of my father's information.
When they go into view my case, they'll be able to see the case that they've created.
I was able to see all of the parts of a process at once in linear fashion, and I could look at different things and different steps to see where I should be and what should be happening and what my rights were.
It's going to give them the ability not only to view all of the rights that they have in the process, but also to create letters that talk about what their rights are that they can send to these criminal justice system officials that they're working with to let the officials know that the victim wants to exercise those rights. So it's very intuitive. The victim enters some information. That information is automatically populated to PDF letters. All the victim has to do is print that letter out, sign it, and mail it to the criminal justice system official. When victims are using the toolkit, we understand that they could still be living in the home with an abuser, especially when we're talking about domestic violence victims. So we've created an escape button that's across the screen anytime you're using the toolkit. So if all of a sudden you're not safe, you can hit that escape button and it will take you to neutral websites like weather.com. The toolkit can be a tremendous tool for victim advocates, and that is certainly a use that we had in mind when we designed it as well. The advocates, when they use this, can enter the information along with their clients. They can sit side by side, walk the client through the process, and further explain, because even though we've taken all of these Ohio Revised Code and federal code rights and turned them into layman's terms, victims may still be overwhelmed because they're dealing with trauma, so they may need assistance from the advocate. The advocate is also able to create as many cases as they want, and they can use the toolkit as a case management tool for all of their clients to help all of their clients exercise their rights. Sometimes when advocates are using the toolkit with clients and they're sending letters from the toolkit to criminal justice officials, that's still not enabling the client to exercise their rights for whatever reason. In that case, our office can provide free legal opinions, and the advocates can then take the legal opinions that are very specific to their circumstance from us to the criminal justice system officials, and we've found that that can be very helpful in getting victims' rights upheld. The great thing about the Victims' Rights Toolkit is that it's easy to use. We've taken over 600 laws, we've put them into layman's terms so they're very easy to understand, and we've organized them in a linear fashion. Not only that, but victims also have access to all of this information that's easy to understand 24/7.